Lead a life of entrepreneurial freedom with insights from successful creatives, entrepreneurs, and investors. Discover how they overcame challenges and turned their biggest dreams into reality. They share their personal success playbook so you can build the business and life you truly want. Welcome to Passion Millionaire, the podcast by Robert Roth. Rock and roll your dreams.
Welcome to today's episode of the Passion Millionaire Podcast. I'm excited as always. Today we have an entrepreneur that has successfully built multiple e-commerce ventures in the USA and now is doing something a little bit differently or a different type of venture in the AI space. And it's a very specific niche that he has picked out for himself, which I'm assuming he's very passionate about. He's running the Getoblic.com website. So the company behind that is the founder and CTO of it. And it's all about voice first AI local business directory, which is for small companies up to 10 employees. So I'm super curious to learn from you. Welcome, Laurent Cohen. How did you get to where you are today?
First of all, thank you, Robert, for having me. It's a real pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to the discussion. Well, let me answer that question, but we'll have to talk maybe 4 to 5 hours because I'm not that young anymore, and I have made a lot of very interesting things. What I would say is that if you've been here long enough, if you've done enough things, you know that it's up and highs, and lows and everything in the middle. And it's all a struggle, and it all comes out to problem solving. And I think we can really go deep in that subject because in the AI era, every single technical aspect is mostly covered with AI. So that's not really issue. Now, the real successful people are going to be the problem solvers.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So, Getoblic.com. So everybody who has maybe already opened the browser and is checking it out, let us know what is this about? Like, it's a solution. It's an AI business directory that is voice first. So what does it mean? What does this thing do exactly?
Let me start with the beginning of the story, right, Robert?
Mm-hmm.
It all comes down to watching everyone and their grandmother trying to sell voice AI over the internet, on social media. You have tons of pretty competent people, smart people trying to sell voice AI. But as I was watching all those posts, all those companies trying to build voice AI, I felt something was missing, literally. And I couldn't really pinpoint what it was until it just came to my eye. And what came to my eye is that when you are building a voice AI company, you are basically building a trust company. And I'm going to explain you exactly why. When a business owner, especially local and small businesses, built their business, they are building it with their voice. And what I'm trying to say here is not only the voice when you speak, but it's who you are. You are a solopreneur, you're by yourself, you are grinding every day, you're trying to build something that you dreamt of all your life, and it's very hard. We all know that local businesses are, in the essence, very fragile type of companies. So they built with their hearts out, they talk with their customers, they engage with the customers, they make sure they respond to them as quickly as possible. They're available for them. All of this is the core of what they've been building for years, way before AI, and for some, way before the internet, right? And now you have this wonderful tool, voice AI, that is working 24/7, that can mimic voice, that can understand emotion. All the technical aspects are covered with a voice AI. The one thing is missing. You have to make a solution that allows the business owner to handle you the keys to his business, the trust he's been building for years. And that's where it gets very complicated. We saw with my partner and I all those splendid videos of people showcasing voice AI with splendid voice, sexy voices with hums and sighs and you name it, perfect. But none of them were really targeting what was important. Was
What is
you
that?
do not fail the business owner. He's been building that for years. He's handing you the keys to what he's been building. And not only you have to make him understand that once he trusts you, he's going to get freedom. He's going to move from an emergency mode life to a growth mode. But you have to prove him that he can trust you. So from
how
that
do you
standpoint,
win? How do you make that happen for the your clients, right?
imagine, Robert, that I'm here to sell you a solution because at the end of the day, we're also a business, right? But I want to build trust with you. What I'm going to do is I want to build a solution, not that is a demo, not that you can try for 8 days, but that is deployed immediately, that is already on the internet, where users can start interacting with it. Even you as a business owner can interact with it any time of the day just to get a sense of how it works. And once you're ready, once trust has been built, then you can move to the subscription and go beyond the directory and use it with your WhatsApp, with your phone, with your calendars, every single aspect of the company that's going to in turn free your time and allow you to do what you do best, which is focus on your customers. And
Okay,
how did we do
understood so
that?
far, but I'm not sure if I still understand. Like when you're talking about building trust, are you
Mhm.
talking right now about your potential future customer building trust with you first and with your solution, Getoblic.com, before paying you money? Or are you talking about the customer of your customer that is building more trust with each other, basically through your solution? Like, not sure what you were trying to pinpoint.
That's actually both, Robert. We've built a directory that has now 1.8 million
Okay. Yeah, then let me deep
businesses
dive right
listed.
there. Ideally both, yes, makes sense. And the solution that you've explained so far, what I've understood is more like, okay, that your customers, they can try it first, Getoblic.com, before paying you. Makes sense. But if somebody becomes a customer of Getoblic.com using your solution now, how does their customer now win more trust through your solution? So we understand that.
You are missing one little piece that is very important, Robert.
Tell me.
Our directory has now 500,000 pages that are listed top 10 on Google, which means 500,000 businesses are listed on Google, and there are customers that are already interacting with the AI voices on each listing page, basically the AI agent that is, remember, a full working agent. So even if the business doesn't know about Getoblic yet, you have users getting to our pages, asking questions about the business, and then we forward those questions, we forward those scheduling demand to the business that doesn't know us yet, and that's basically providing free lead to that business. So basically, we have a business that receives a phone call for one of our agents saying, hey, we have Robert here. He's trying to book a beard haircut. He's trying to reach out to you and want to know if you're available on Tuesday at 6 a.m. 6 p.m. Make it simple. So you receive a message at the business owner. You say, well, I'm going to take the call, or I'm going to come approve the appointment, or just make sure we reschedule, whatever works for you. Now you have the business owner that say, hey, this company that I don't know of sends me leads for free.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check and see what's happening there. So they get to the Getoblic directory, they claim their page because it's free.
Okay.
They edit the information because now we have public information and we're moving to much more accurate information from the business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And on those information, the AI is trained even more and gets smarter. And now you have a full working voice AI that is working on the directory, right? But the business owner can start without even paying one penny to send his customers to the page to relieve him from all the interaction that are happening during the day. One other thing that is very important, Robert, is now
let me just recap that real quick, because now that made a lot of sense. So I'm trying to understand myself, and for everybody who has not checked getoblic.com yet on the laptop. We like to paint this picture. So basically, what your solution is, first, it's literally that local business directory. So you have added those businesses already. Now they are indexed in, or like they can be found on Google, for example, or maybe also other search engines. If somebody would look for a specific business, maybe your business is already in there and you don't know. That's what I'm hearing as well. Is that right? That you have
Exactly.
added those businesses by research? Okay. And then
1.10 million businesses is a lot already.
All right. Yeah, that's a lot. So it's a directory, and you help businesses to be found on search engines through your website that you've built this index of, or business directory. Okay, that's first. And then second, kind of there is the voice AI part coming in, right? Kind of that's if you take it like that. So now somebody's looking for a business, finding it, and now he can be in communication by voice and get in touch with a business owner. And then basically, if I would have a business and I'm in there, maybe I don't even know, but now there's a lead coming in all of the sudden. And that's the way how you are getting in touch with the business owners also, or how does that work?
That's our secret. All our customers came organically. And it's very interesting because, think about it. People would argue that, okay, you are listing, you are taking ranking on Google. And I'm going to be very fair with you. The main question that some people have asked us, are you really redirecting business potential users to our directory? Well, we're not. Let me tell you why. It appears, and we understood that very clearly, that very few small businesses are well equipped digitally. Most of them communicate to their Instagram pages, Facebook pages, TikTok pages. Very few has fully working websites. You talk chiropractor, massage therapists, pet grooming, nail salons. They're not equipped. So basically, we are in 2026, and you still have a lot of demand as far as having digital visibility. Now, we don't only offer digital visibility, we offer voice visibility, which is, let's put it this way, the next channel that's going to come big. You see, tomorrow, Elon Musk is going to build a billion of robots. And believe me, Robert, we're going to interact with them using our voice. So, we call ourselves a voice first directory, but I think we're moving toward a voice only directory.
Mm-hmm. So, and currently, how you said you have about 1.5 million businesses in the directory, right? And how many? 1.8. Yeah, thanks. So, and how many inquiries per day are you receiving?
We're anywhere between 1,200 to 1,500 minutes per day. Because this is our metrics. Okay. Yeah. And let me tell you why.
Why are you measuring?
I talk in minutes. Yeah. Because very quickly, when we started having interaction, we discovered something about our business that we didn't know. As many interactions that are happening throughout all our agents, each interaction becomes a use case for us. Company A is interacting with the customers that is requesting a special type of haircut of products available in the store. Now we have a use case. We are stripping it out of any confidential information, and we are using it then to feed our data sets and turn our overall AI agents into smarter agents. And now we have a quantity of information and use case that no other voice AI company has, because nobody is scaling it the way we are doing it. So basically, we moved out from a SaaS solution to a directory solution to literally a graph infrastructure solution. We have so many voices interaction that now our AI agents are being trained over multiple use cases that we learn every day. And this is really something that we're passionate about because we understood, and now I'm talking to anybody who's listening here that want to work with AI. If you start your day with an idea that is AI centered, this is great. That's what you should be doing. But very quickly, you will start understanding that the core of your business is probably not the AI by itself. You're going to have to use data because the AI is only as good as the data you're providing. Then you're going to have to use automations. And then you're going to have to use workflows. and all those things are what are making a successful business today.
So when did you start this project, Getoblic.com then?
Only September 18. This is
September
crazy.
18. Okay.
Yeah, I remember
And,
like it was yesterday. It's a
so you
first
have,
day.
okay, so per day, currently you have about 20 hours or 20 hours of
20
AI
to
voice.
25 hours, yeah.
20 to 25 hours. Yeah. You called it out in minutes before. So, and in interactions, like how many leads, let's call it, per day would that equal? Because there is going to be an average amount of minutes you could calculate, right?
On average, we have 90 seconds per call. That's the latest numbers we have, because we're obviously, as a company, we're working on the efficiency of every call. You do not want people wasting their time over the phone. You have to be efficient. You have to provide the information that the users want in the lesser time. So
so
we're
about
looking
800 to 1,000 leads
exactly
that you're generating roughly, right? If my calculations
roughly
are right. Okay.
it is.
Yeah, that's pretty good start, I would say. So, and how do you have any idea how many of those would actually turn into business? Like, I don't know how you would measure that. Like, if you're in contact with the business owners, or if you have a CRM connection established once they become your clients, actually, or how would that work?
Well, we already know how many companies have claimed our page, or many have been subscribing to our solutions. So those things are a real metric that we have. We have around today 9% that are claimed pages.
9%.
So we're looking at 106,000. Yeah, a lot. And it's exact. And as far as the customer base, we are very happy. We reached over 6,000. So they are subscribers to our solution. Yeah.
So when somebody claims the page, that doesn't mean that they are already paying for it, but there is then upgraded versions where they become a paying customer, so to speak.
Exactly. Again, like I told you earlier, Robert, as soon as you claim, and even before actually, but when it's claimed and all the data are accurate, you have a fully functioning solution, not a demo, not a halfway solution. You have the coffee, you have the sugar and the milk, you have everything here. But then if you want to subscribe to the solution, it's because you want to have a virtual phone line that's included where you can transfer your call during the weekend, after hours, while you're working in the day. You also have a widget that you can put on your website, and you can also connect it to your WhatsApp and your calendar. So all those things are literally going beyond the directory itself.
Yeah, I understand. Like it starts to make more and more sense now what your solution is really about. Like smart way of combining those basically typically separate services. As you said, there's a lot of people selling AI service, right? So somebody calls and the AI answers. You have that, and you have connected that to actually bring in the leads to the company at the same time. You're freeing up the time of the entrepreneur and increasing basically the quality of their service, right? Because of the availability is increased. If I'm assuming if the business owner wants that, right? And at the same time, if the AI really knows what it's doing, and you already have mentioned before, the AI learns how the business works, and then always ideally is being fed with updated information and is able to give qualified answers on the phone and then set either the appointment or whatever the next step is for the business owner. Did I get that right?
Exactly. Okay. You get it perfectly right. And one more thing that is very interesting, that is really something we're working very hardly on. I told you earlier, we're literally working with a voice graph. So now we're starting to have a very strong search engine within the directory, because with the kind of success we've been having indexing on Google, now we have Google has been kind enough to grant us with more broader words, such as chiropractor near me, hair salon near me. So we have literally users that are coming and say, okay, I'm looking for a barbershop near Monterey. Do you have one? And then we are building a search engine that can answer this question within a directory. So it's very exciting. Voice search engine.
Yeah, very interesting. So, and who would you say, like, is there a specific niche or a a set of niches? Like what would be typically the best niches that need to know about this and actually need to have this? Because, I mean, you know all the data, which pages rank the highest. Specifically, those are probably the most of the ones that are claimed already. So which niches are best fit for Getoblic?
When you start a business, Robert, you're full of assumptions, right? And the more you go, the more you learn, and it humbles you. I would say that initially we were really focusing on very small businesses, very, tiny businesses, solopreneur, smaller salon, nail salon. And those were working very efficiently for us. But soon enough, we understood that SMB, small businesses that were a bit larger, like clinics, for instance, was very a big surprise for us. Botox clinics or companies like that are a little bit more structured, that have receptionists. Still, we're looking to use our service. And the reason is that, and that's kind of serendipity effect that we had, is that when we install the widget, the voice widget on their website, it creates retention on their website, which Google loves. This is also the reason why our directory itself was indexed so quickly. So now that you have retention on the website, because users are interacting with the voice AI available on the website, you have better indexing on the website. So we have literally now companies that are subscribing to our solution for the voice AI, but mostly for the widget on the website that will allow in turn to have better Google indexing.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. You're also comfortable with, technical and also kind of critical questions?
I am. Let's do it.
Because I'm super curious to understand literally how you pulled that off. Like where would most of the traffic come from? From which search engine? Is that Google or is that Bing or is that any other search engine?
Google by far. Let me tell you something.
How many pages have you indexed on Google, and how did you make that happen? Because your domain authority, if I'm seeing that right, is super low. The domain seems to be super new, and I don't see a huge amount of index pages on Google. So I'm wondering how you made that happen.
I've been doing SEO since 2003. I think I've done some very cool thing there. And what I can tell you is very quickly we understood that not only Google nowadays loves AI, anything AI related, but it also loves as a measure the retention of the pages, what I mentioned earlier. So it moved out again from
but how
very
many
long
pages have you indexed? Because I was literally just checking, and I see. I mean, if I would take a quick guess, it's a couple hundred pages that are indexed the most. I would need to go ahead and count that, but that's what it's showing to me when I'm using the site operator. Just a real quick check. So I'm wondering how that worked.
The latest figure is close to 500,000. So I will send you the snapshot from the console after I call. But those are mostly long tails, but also what creates the indexing of the pages is, but now I'm going to tell you a big secret, right, bro?
Yeah, I'm super curious because there must be something, right, that I don't see right now.
One of the strengths for our indexing are any content with the near me wording. So basically, you have anyone that's on an American city that says, okay, let's say he's in Sacramento and he's saying hairdresser, hair salon near me. Now Google's going to put one on our page. Those pages are not necessarily page that you're going to see indexed for the name of the page itself, but Google has indexed it and serves it to broader words with near me. So that's something that people, when you talk SEO, some people are really stuck to the old ages, where you were building meta title, meta description, schemas. All those things are very much necessary, but that's only the basics. So there's a lot more to it because Google is a lot smarter than it used to be. And now when it indexes a page, it doesn't really matter what's the position, because whatever you think you are seeing, your neighbor doesn't see the same solution or result. You know that, of course. So now when you have keywords that are indexed for words like near me, you have specific search that are offered within every single position in the country when you're targeting America, or in the world if you're targeting worldwide. So basically you have pages indexed that are just waiting to be served if a customer is looking for that information. And it changes the game dramatically.
Yeah, quite interesting. Learn something there. And therefore, you have about 6,000 clients, right?
Yes.
So is there different packages that those clients could book? And, how would those packages look like?
We're so much focused on what we want to offer our customers. And again, the trust aspect of it is that we have a solution that doesn't cost much, $59 a month with unlimited calls and minutes. But most of it, we do not ask any commitments. You can subscribe for 1 month, and if you're not happy, you can leave. We have a very little churn, very few turnover. But we are confident enough to make sure that our customers can leave us whenever they feel like it.
Mm-hmm. All right. And what's the typical retention time like? I mean, so far, like how long would a customer stick on average once he has booked your service, the paid service?
It's very hard for me to give you any churn rate because we hardly have any. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it's compared to the kind of figures we're getting, it's very, very few. Usually it's not really related to the product itself. It's just a business that it's moving somewhere else for other reasons, not for voice AI. It's very hard to compete with a $59 solution per month,
Yeah, quite interesting. So I would say before we hop into the last one question, I'd be super curious to hop on a totally different topic, just real quick for 2-3 minutes or so, because you've done e-commerce before. And what would you say was your biggest biggest success there, or the most successful company that you have built there? What was that around? What was the product, and how did you pull that off?
There are two companies that I was very proud of. The first one was created back in 2003, and it was selling health and beauty products abroad, American products out of the country. But it was another era, Robert. It was the beginning of SEO. It was right after the internet bubble. Everything was possible. Believe me, everything was quite easy. I'm very proud of what I achieved. But I think the second one was a lot more exciting for me because it was created in 2012. And I created what we call a DNVB, digital native brand vertical, brand that are intended to be sold only on the internet. And it was a beard product company called Beardelizer. And basically, I decided to create a company because I didn't hop on the social media train early enough. It was only 2012. Facebook was there only for 5 years, but still, I saw the trend passing by, and I say, I have to do something with social media. So I started digging on what people were thinking about beards. And I found that there was huge communities of people sharing about beards, and you had at that time all those groups that were heavily talking about beard products. There were beard competitions. There were so much fun things to do. And when you have people that are ready to understand and you are really creating a product for them, they not only become your ambassadors, but not only your customers, but they become your own ambassadors. So we moved on from having people that had reach of 100, 500, 1,000 people to people that were joining our brand that had reach of 50,000 people. And we ended up sponsoring athletes, musicians, and it got very, very exciting. It was very, the human aspect of it was great because it was the beginning of social media. And now you not only create a product and sell it, you really do it with your customers base. And that's wonderful because I remember we were creating special scents for oils, beard oils. And we were having all those guys asking, okay, can you build that, Laurent? I want to have that sense, And I said, okay, let's do it, and it was wonderful. And let me tell you that I've made lifelong friends in that group of people. So that's what I'm very proud of.
Okay, wow. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Beard oil. I actually do own one also. So
Yeah.
find that nice. Yeah, congrats for that also. Appreciate that. All right, my last question for you will be, or before that, like what's the best way to reach out to you? Let us know if that's LinkedIn or if that's the website or
I would say go to getoblic.com, go to the footer. We have tons of social media. Just hop on there if you have any question, if I can support you, help you with your SEO, maybe, whatever works. I'll be more than happy to give my support.
yeah, excellent. We will also link that in the show notes. So and therefore, my last question to you, what do you think is the biggest mistake that people make, especially in the voice AI space? Like, I mean, entrepreneurs, business owners that are looking to use AI voice services. What's the biggest mistake you say there?
You know what pilots do when they on an airplane? They don't look at the stars. They look at the instruments. Uh, do not let people fool you. Do not focus on, again, like I said earlier, Robert, how sexy is the voice, how human-like is the voice. It doesn't matter. You can only fool one person once, but at the end of the day, if the solution delivers what its own purpose is, which is accurate information, right scheduling, fallbacks. Because remember, Robert, if you have an emergency, you'd want the AI to be able to transfer the call immediately. Those are the things that are important. Those are the instruments we're looking at. So do not look at the stars, look at the instruments.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for that. Really appreciate that. Laurent, thanks again for coming to the podcast.
It was a pleasure, Robert. Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate that.
Go to rockandrollyourdreams.com/podcast.